Hello, my name is Shailen Bhatt. I have proudly served as the 21st Administrator for the past couple of years at the FHWA Administration, and it's been just the honor of my career to lead the people of this agency who are making a critical difference for this nation at a critical time. Many people ask me why I wanted to come back to the Federal Highway Administration, having served previously in another administration. And you know, when I thought about the important work that needed to be done, the amazing people that were here, it made it an easy decision, and the great projects that we've been able to advance, all of the difference that we've been able to make for the American people have really made that worthwhile for me and particularly for my family. So the bipartisan infrastructure law, I mean, when I was here the first time around, we thought $50 billion for the Department of Transportation was a big number, and it was at the time. Obviously, with the $1.2 trillion of the bipartisan infrastructure law, this is going to have a generational impact on the United States. And you know, I think the highlight of my time as the administrator has been going around the country and seeing projects that were only dreams for people become not just a dream on a long-range plan, but a funded reality that is going to help the United States compete in the 21st century. After 2 years and the most funding our transportation system has ever seen, I forget the exact song, but you know, I remember walking into somebody's wedding with the song playing, "All I do is win, win, win." And I think that is the story for the American people. And the Federal Highway Administration, we have funded bridge projects across the nation. We have funded highway projects across the nation. We are helping to reconnect communities. We deployed Protect funding because of the first climate title in the history of any transportation bill. And so I think we've had so many wins. It's hard to pick any one of those projects, but what I can tell you is that across the nation, you know, where I have been in the transportation space, we've been in this era of if only we had the funding, we could get this project done. And I think those are the wins that we see. These are all these projects that were only glimmers of hope that are now a reality. Advice for those in the transportation industry, I have always said that a DOT, whether it's a US DOT, state DOTs, or local DOTs, exists for two reasons, right? To save lives and to make people's lives better. And so, you know, my advice for people would be make sure you are staying focused on your reason for building that project, right? We're not building a project for the sake of building a project. It's got to have some sort of a goal of saving somebody's life or improving the lives of people. And the second thing I would say is getting the funding is great, but turning that into a project is a lot of hard work. And it's going to take a lot of hard work to turn all of these thousands of projects from concepts and designs into successful ribbon cuttings. But I'm very confident with the industry that we have that we're going to see a lot of really successful projects in the coming years. We always say that safety is our #1 priority, but we've been saying that for a lot of years while fatalities continue to go up. But I'm both an optimist and a Star Wars fan, and I think it's time for a new hope. And that comes in a couple of forms. One is our National Roadway Safety Strategy, which is putting a real focus on data and tying funding to the investments that we make so we can prioritize safety for all road users. And then secondly, I'm just a huge proponent of technology. I believe that technology is going to be the key tool if we can deploy it with courage and conviction to finally get us to a place where that old adage that we use of 40,000 Americans dying every year is just a part of history, like we've relegated many things that killed a lot of Americans to history. So I'm confident that my daughters who are 9 and 11 are going to grow up in a world where it isn't the norm that we have this much carnage on our roadways, and I'm really hopeful that we'll be able to achieve that in their lifetime.